In new music we trust on BBC Radio 1.
In new music we trust on BBC Radio 1.
Trust us to bring you the best new music
from across the UK and from around the world.
Go! Come on! In new music we trust
on BBC Radio 1.
Are you ready? Come on! Now.
Hello. Good evening. I would like to make a formal apology on behalf of the BBC for what you are about to hear. Due to BBC Radio 1 losing the cable that allows us to just plug in our iPods and hit play, you are about to endure
Phil and Dan looking after
the Matt Edmonson Show. You more than likely have absolutely no idea who
they are.
But don't worry, it could be worse. You could be watching the video Vernon K. Just Text to Me. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for potentially strong language, adult themes, and faces that some listeners may find offensive. This is
Phil and Dan in for
the Matt Edmonson Show. It's like a radio show, only much, much worse.
Is BBC Radio 1.
Hello, so you are probably wondering, who is this strange voice instead of Matt's?
Also this one too.
Well, I am Dan.
And I'm Phil.
And we are those weird people from the internet that were on Scott's show once who are, for some reason, going to be doing the request show.
God help us all. Yeah, we're usually found on the internet making videos as Danisnotonfire and AmazingPhil.
Not those kind of videos.
People always think that.
Well, you know, it doesn't help that we have cameras pointing at our beds.
No.
But we are here today because... Wait, did anyone tell us where Matt actually is? Does anyone know where Matt has gone?
I don't know.
Do you think he's okay?
I heard a rumour he invested in a Tibetan llama farm with Jessie J.
Why Jessie J?
I don't know, she just likes llamas.
She looks like the sort of person that would. Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, so Matt is in here because of reasons that are way above our clearance.
Maybe it's a test of our love and he'll come back when we truly miss him.
No. But yeah, anyway, Matt usually gives you, the listeners, a prize for managing to find the show and listening to it, but I will admit that I did not come prepared today.
What is there lying around?
Let's see. You could win this half-eaten custard cream left here by Greg James.
Dan, that does not look very appealing.
Are you kidding me? You could eBay this. Someone, somewhere. A lonely widow, perhaps. A cougar with a cloning machine.
Dan.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yes, hi. Nice of you to join us.
I hope Matt realises that we could destroy his entire career by mistake.
What could we accidentally do that would end his career?
We could tell people the truth about his Christmas jumpers.
No, Phil. You can't go there.
I think his listeners deserve the truth.
Guys, sorry, as the producer, you can't do this.
I'm going to do it, Chris. The secret about Matt Edmonson's jumpers are that they are actually his skin.
I can't believe we went there.
What have you done?
You might as well explain it now, Dan.
Okay, well, as a child, Matt was involved in a burns accident / nuclear disaster that left him horribly deformed below the neck but above the waist.
And it changes pattern depending on his mood.
It does. But moving on, okay, we'll try to get through the show without accidentally bringing on the end of the world.
Well, we'll try with no guarantees.
If there is a radio on self-destruct button somewhere in this room, I will sit on it.
What about this button on the screen?
No. Are we still here?
Yes.
Never do that again. Anyway, today we have some absolutely amazing things lined up that will probably change your life. And here's what's coming up on the show today.
Dame Maggie Smith will be in our underwater dream tank.
Oh, that's always a tough one, but I'm sure she'll be impressive. And Susan Boyle will be playing Face Wars in a particularly intimate condition this week.
And we have an exclusive interview with a farmer who has successfully bred one of his prize cows with a house spider.
Amazing. The frontiers of science.
So now we just pop in the CD and here we go.
No, the magpie!
The what? Yeah!
Damn it!
What was that? Where did the CD with the show go?
The Radio 1 magpie's taken it.
Hold up, what?
It's a magpie which lives in a studio that's attracted to any shiny object. If you put a shiny object like a CD out, it'll swoop down and take it.
And this happens every week.
Why don't you just close the window?
Or start the show with it already in the CD drive.
Or use a USB stick.
Why don't you kill it? End this misery Matt goes through every week. It looks so tired. It could be some kind of magpie euthanasia. Can we end its life quietly, producer Chris? Did you ever take the time to even learn its name?
Dan, calm down.
But that bloody thing has taken our Susan Boyle Face Wars video. I can't lose that.
It's gone forever.
Oh, we're going to have to scrape something together to get some kind of show. It's a shame about Face Wars, though. Should we explain it anyway?
No, if we describe it, people will be disappointed it's been taken. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Right, well, now we need to have an emergency board meeting. Be right back.
When darkness falls.
That was Follow Me by Muse, and you're listening to Dan and Phil covering for Matt Edmonson on Radio 1.
So after the Magpie's taken our CD with the show on it, here's what's actually coming up on the show tonight.
We will be finding out what is in Olly Murs' bed.
I would probably eat Louis Walsh.
We'll be discussing ways to improve the world through the powers of technology. A Google chip that gets implanted in your brain so you can Google things in your head.
No, that would end the world. And just in time, we will be giving you a Christmas shopping survival guide. And by just in time, we mean 2 weeks early, but that's okay, we can all pretend we'll do it soon. Tip number 2. Who's the most difficult person to buy presents for? Grandma! Well, here's a tip. You can just go to her house and wrap up some furniture, and she probably won't remember owning it. Infinite free presents forever. We'll be playing music from Frank Ocean, Subfocus, and Alt J.
But if you're listening to the download, we will replace each song with the mating call of a different animal. So instead of Muse earlier, you heard the mating call of a koala.
It sounds painful. Are you sure he wasn't dying or passing a gallstone?
We look forward to hearing more of those later in the show.
But before all that, as we are internet people that know everything about the deepest, darkest parts of the internet, we thought we'd bring you up to speed in all the most important internet news without you having to leave the comfort of Facebook.
Internet news. An 8-foot-tall ape-like man with what is described as burning red eyes has been spotted in Tunbridge Wells. It was last seen 70 years ago and has now returned to reap vengeance.
How do they know that it wants to reap vengeance?
I don't know, maybe it wants to be friends.
What is it reaping vengeance for? Discrimination against glowing ape men.
I think so. There are thoughts it could be some kind of tourist attraction.
Maybe it's just Wayne Rooney.
Probably is Wayne Rooney. Internet news.
A woman from Colombia believes that her baby is Satan. Yes, that's right. Apparently her baby disappears and breathes fire.
It disappears.
Yes, but it's never been caught on film, surprisingly.
You'd think with a news story like this, they would try and get some kind of video evidence.
Some kind of proof.
Of it breathing fire in the house. Did you know we had an exorcism at my parents' house once?
What?
There was a ghost with flowing white hair that stood next to my dad's bed every night, and he saw it every night until they had an exorcism.
Your family actually had an exorcism?
Yeah, we got a priest to bless the bed.
I would not be able to sleep in a house where a priest had... He blessed the bed.
That's where the lady wanted to stroke my dad's feet and stuff.
That's just a bit... I feel like bringing a priest into the house is just asking for more... When has that ever removed a demon?
In a movie, the priest always causes everyone to die.
It just makes it worse. If it wasn't Satan before, the demon is going to become Satan if you get a priest involved.
He has stopped feeling the icy hand caressing his leg in the night, though, so it's all good.
Well, yeah, that's a bit disturbing.
Anyway,
Well,
fact about me for everyone there.
Yes, but let's hope that someone put in a call to social services.
About the baby or my dad?
Both.
Internet news. And a campaign to raise money for a book specifically aimed at zombie children has been launched by Dan and Amelia Jacobs. It advises the zombie children the best way to find brains, including school buses that have slowed down.
Yay! Do you think that's suitable?
I think so. If there's a zombie apocalypse, the kids have got to know what to do, don't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, even if it's a post-apocalyptic future, things like education are important.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's forward thinking. Internet news. So that's it for all your internet news.
Let's hear a bit of Frank Ocean. This is Lost. That was Frank Ocean with Lost.
BBC Radio 1.
It's Phil and Dan filling in for Matt Edmonson on Radio 1. You know what? I'm feeling a bit shaken up this evening.
Why is that?
I almost killed a child earlier.
What?
I was in the tube station. I was about to walk down the escalator when I noticed there was this tiny little being in front of my boot, which I almost kicked down the escalator with my gangly 7-foot body.
You nearly kicked a child down an escalator?
Yeah, I felt terrible. I just need to watch where I'm going. I have a clinical issue of clumsiness, and I was thinking maybe there should be some kind of invention to stop that happening.
What kind of thing are you thinking?
I was thinking of like a shoe which beeped when it almost comes into contact with some kind of living matter.
Proximity shoes.
Yes.
That sounds like the least interesting thing ever. I mean, surely if you were going upstairs, it would just sound like a rave or something like that.
I think it'd have to almost hit the child before it beeped.
But then surely by the time you're that close, you kind of already going to kick the child down the escalator.
So I was thinking we should all think about these things that would improve our lives, and we could all become millionaires.
What a stupid idea.
So you can't think of anything?
Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
Every morning, this is going to change the world. Are you ready for this?
Yep. Hopefully Theophytus is listening right now.
If you are, call me. A toaster that butters toast inside the toaster.
That is kind of genius.
So you just slot it in, and there's some kind of butter hatch that just sort of gently massages the butter into it. So when it pops up, it just sort of ejaculates out of the toaster onto your plate, pre-buttered.
Would you be down for a butter hatch, Chris?
I'd love a ejaculated butter hatch.
Yeah. That's a good
That's
one.
what we all need.
That beeps my baby shoe. But I was also thinking they should invent some kind of shampoo which makes your hair stop growing. Because I think boys always look really startled after a haircut, especially me, but then it just gets too long. So once you've got that optimal hair, you use this special stop growing shampoo.
So as opposed to caffeine shampoo,
It wouldn't make your hair fall out, it would just make it stop.
make it stop.
in the optimal length.
Chill out. Yeah, okay. Let me think. Oh, okay. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Hilary Devey, braces that when you clip on, they brush your teeth for you. So you just have to put them on, okay? Like a whatever they're
I'm
called,
imagining
mouth
some
guard.
kind of terrifying saw
a
trap.
head
right now.
cage, basically. It probably would be. But I like the idea that you just press an on switch and then it just goes.
No, that's too futuristic for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it could be done.
I feel like it would be used for bad reasons.
As we are recording this in the past, we've already got a list of amazing inventions, but if you tweet us some of your inventions right now to BBCR1, then we will retweet some of them, and we will be reading some of your pre-recorded responses later. But now, let's get some kind of guest. Did we actually get a guest?
Yeah, extreme puzzle time. He was on the X Factor and his name rhymes with Jolly Furs.
You deserve to have no friends. Yes, we have Olly Murs talking about his love life.
I remember when I was at school, there's a girl that I fancied. I really loved her, really liked her, really wanted to be with her, and she just wanted to go out with the guy that was older than me, that was cooler than me. And
After Subfocus.
Subfocus there with Tidal Wave.
So this is Dan and Phil covering for Matt Edmonson on Radio 1, and a couple of weeks ago we caught up with Olly Murs, and this is what went down.
BBC Radio 1.
Okay, so here we have Olly Murs.
hey,
Hello.
right, fellas.
We are good, how are you?
I'm just lovely to speak to you guys.
Yeah,
Because
you
I know
too.
you're new to this. This is new to meet you.
This is brand new.
New to meet me.
To
Yeah.
say-
New to meet you, new to meet me.
To say you're juggling an album release, Extra Factor, upcoming arena tour, you're looking very healthy.
Thanks, guys. I
Got a
don't
lot on
feel
your plate.
healthy.
Do you don't?
I have a lot on my plate. I do eat a lot, actually, on my plate.
Literally.
I'm actually keeping in good shape. Actually, I'm doing all right. It's lots going on, but this is kind of the busiest time for any artist at this
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
it's a lot going on, but looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
Can't wait.
Do you have a health secret?
Not really. No, I'm probably the worst person to ask. I don't really do cosmetics and stuff like that. I do eat pretty well.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say I don't eat too much garbage. I mean, I think whenever I'm trying to lose weight, I try and stay away from chocolate, crisps, and them
Okay.
sort of things. Because I notice when I do put a bit of weight on, it's only because I'm eating the big bags of chocolate. You know that you get the big,
The big
You don't
bags,
just go.
yeah.
You don't just go and get a 45p bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
You end up getting the £1.
The sharing
49
bags.
Yeah, the share
The
bags.
family packs.
'Cause we can't obviously reference makes here.
No.
But you know what I'm sort of saying. You know.
Yeah.
Generic chocolate.
Yeah, well, I just sit at home refreshing the internet all day, eating all of the chocolates.
I
That's
could.
why-
I mean, that's why I know I'm trying to keep myself in good shape for Christmas. But I know because at Christmas I go crazy.
No hope.
I go crazy. Yeah.
So did you know that our paths have crossed before me and you, Ollie? They have. Can you remember when?
I think you was doing fashion and styling.
No.
Lol.
And I was there when you were breaking a world record for the most cups of teas made.
Was you really?
Yeah, and you asked me where a toilet was.
Oh, did I really?
Wow.
Ask you where the toilet was?
Yeah, you did. And
Did you guide me in the right direction,
I think
or
I-
did I just have to go around the corner of the building?
I think I may have been a little bit starstruck because I just bumped into you. I was like, oh, it's Olly Murs.
Excuse me, do you know where the toilet is?
Now here you are.
I also
living
made
the
your
A-list
mum.
dream.
I made your mum a cup of tea as well.
Ah,
Yeah.
do you know what I still haven't got, right? Guinness World Records, if you listen to the show, I'm sure they are. They didn't even give me an award or
Never given you-
even a plaque
Really?
or even a certificate to say that I'd done it, so I could frame it, at least put it on my wall.
Oh, we'll make sure you
Lazy.
get that. We'll campaign for you.
No excuse.
I mean,
Pretty
I actually am in the Guinness World Records for this.
Oh.
Yes, I'm proud of this award.
I
Are you
would
in the
be.
actual book?
Yeah, we're actually
my
in the
gosh.
book.
Yep.
Your name is referenced on it.
Yeah. Guy
Did
that
you
helped
know
make
Guy
the
that helped
tea.
make the tea.
Did you know
I
that?
spoke to Olly's mum. It's a good icebreaker.
It is.
I met your mum once. bit of a weird one, actually, isn't it? So anyway, your new album is out now.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, it's out now. I'm very excited about it. It's doing really well, and it's called Right Place, Right Time, and it's got some really nice vibe with it. Good songs. Production's changed, bit very different, bit anthemic for me.
Yep.
It's still got my cheekiness and my funness in it.
Can you describe it with one sound?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Not a word, a sound.
Oh, okay, because this is big.
That was
Pretty good. Sounds intense.
It's a
Yeah.
deep roar.
I like it.
It's a roar. It's coming at you.
Very passionate, yeah.
That's right. It's passion.
So the album's called Right Place, Right Time.
Yes.
Have you got an example of being in the right place at the right time?
Oh, I bet so many people have asked you.
I know.
I'm regretting it already.
I know. I've got a great
Okay.
example. I've got an example of this guy. I was doing this Guinness World Record, and I walk along, and this guy was just stood there. I said, "Excuse me, mate. Do you know where the toilet is?" And he was like, "Yeah." So that was
There you go.
seeing someone in the right place at the right time and giving
Yeah.
me the right advice for then me to go to the toilet.
Oh, that's
Must have saved you like
So
2
you was in the
minutes.
right place at the right time. Because
There you
I
go.
could have, because you could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I could have.
And then when I walked down the corridor, you wasn't in that position, and then I'd been hunting around for a toilet, and then I might have seen you down the corridor in the end.
Yeah.
And I said, "Look, mate, I'm trying to find the toilet," and then be a completely different person because I'd been even more upset because a minute before that's
Yeah.
where you should have been.
Everything could have changed
Where
in
could
your
the
life.
future be right now
Who knows?
if you didn't point him to the toilet?
Who knows?
But no, on a serious note,
Actually.
no, right place, right time. I think for me, it's pretty much when doing the X Factor in 2009. I don't think if I would have believed and gone for that audition, I don't think
Yeah.
I'd be sat here now talking to you. So that was definitely in the right place at the right time with the right person, and lucky enough, he sent me through, and here I am now.
You're listening to Phil and Dan, looking after things for Matt Edmonson on Radio 1.
This is Lucy Rose on Radio 1.
Asleep in the middle of the bed. Through.
That was Middle of the Bed by Lucy Rose. And now it's time for part 2 of our encounter with Olly Murs.
BBC Radio 1.
I think we're going to go into a game.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Game. I love games.
Okay.
Game is my middle name.
Well, on the notion that you must get asked the same questions all the time, I imagine, when you go to
I do
interviews.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but I do like a good random question.
Well,
Good.
that's convenient for what's about to happen.
Well, for this game, we're going to try and ask you some things that you've never in your whole life been asked before. Ever.
Just the question, just to tell you as well, as funny stories. When I went to Germany, they went, "What do you think about when you look up at the sky?"
Oh, what did you say?
I went, "Oh, it's just really blue and a bit cloudy."
It's very cloudy at the
Deep.
moment.
It's like, well, it was just random questions like that.
Well, I've brought this owl of destiny. It has laser eyes. So
This is the production
don't
budget we're
shine
working
it,
with.
Don't shine it in your eyes. And if we ask you something,
You have to press the button.
Where's the
you've
button?
at the back.
So give...
Careful though, it's dangerous.
Wait a minute, can I just press it again?
Yeah.
So people can hear the owl.
There we go.
That is your hoot sound
Yeah.
effect. Don't
So-
look at it, though, because those are 2 lasers
They're-
inside.
they're
so we don't
dangerous.
want to be
Are
responsible
they really?
for...
Yeah.
Just it's
Um,
very dangerous. Keep it...
So if we ask you something that you've been
It's like
asked before,
Is it Cyclops? What's the guy from X-Men?
Yeah, it is like Cyclops,
is.
yeah. But
Cyclops.
Tiny plastic owl form.
I'm blind. Olly Murs is blinding me. So if we ask you anything you've been asked before,
Yep.
Hoot that thing.
hoot the owl,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
we'll just delete the question.
Okay, here we go.
Let's get going.
So this is a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you not spread on your toast?
Oh, this is a good question. Butter.
You wouldn't spread butter on your
wouldn't spread
toast?
butter
I never put butter on my toast.
What do you put on your toast?
Dry?
I just go straight with jam, peanut butter, or something else.
Right.
Straight with the jam.
Well, because I think you're adding more calories and the saturated fat
Yeah.
onto your toast. That sounds really lame, isn't it? It's the worst thing. But I just got to a point where I didn't like jam. I didn't like the butter mixed in with my peanut butter because there's already butter in it.
Well, I feel like if you do peanut butter, you might as well go all the way.
I personally...
but it's exactly this. I mean, double lard, aren't I? Pretty much.
I wouldn't spread walrus blood on my toast.
How would you obtain it?
I don't know, just saying.
It's a random example.
Let's move on.
Kind of, yeah.
If something came out of your nose every time you sneezed, what would you want it to be? Think about this.
God, I would love it to be money, of course. I think that'd be
good.
the most.
You'd
I think if
ruin
you
the
could
world's
sneeze,
economy, though, wouldn't you?
if you could sneeze, but sometimes you do go a few days without sneezing. That'd be a bit hard. Sneeze, please. I need food.
Be a little bit awkward in the shop.
God damn it!
You can't sneeze on demand.
Yeah,
Like, when you want to go pay for something, how do you sneeze?
But how do you know how much you're going to get? Do you have to think about it and then sneeze, or does it just naturally give
These
you
are
a
the questions.
rough estimate?
It could be completely random. You could be like, ready
you
to
might
buy a
sneeze.
TV.
You might sneeze and you only get a penny.
True.
And then you could sneeze and £100 million would come out. You'd probably explode.
But then then you'll get really annoyed because every time you sneeze, £100 million comes out. And let's be honest, that's not going to come out in literally 1 moment. That's going to come out in about. It's going to take about an hour for it to then.
Process.
Yeah,
an hour long.
An hour process of just sneezing.
It could cause some kind of riot.
This is such a random question.
Let's move on. Which X Factor judge would you most like to eat?
If you had to.
You've been asked it.
No.
I was just what?
I would probably eat Louis Walsh.
Yeah,
I think he's one of them steak rumps that's been around for a while.
Proper
juicy meat in
matured.
there.
Well aged.
Matured.
A bit of seasoning, that'd be delicious.
Obviously, the obvious question would be to take Talisa or Nicole and eat them. Because they're so sweet and tender.
Oh, that's the nice answer.
But I'd probably take Louis because I think it'd be a much better quality steak.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is a good one to think about. 2 safari jeeps are hanging dangerously over a pit filled with hungry hyenas, but you can only save one of these cars. One car contains the entire population of France, and the other car contains Caroline Flack. Which car do you save?
I have to save Caroline Flack. This would be the extra factor gone forever.
It would be.
It would.
That would be a shame.
I think that they'll.
Soz France.
I think I'm really sorry to France, but I think I have to stick to my own. I couldn't let one of my UK, someone from the UK die in that hyena pool. I think that you'd have the superhero from France would have to whiz right in. And save them
somewhere.
There must be someone. Yeah, someone have to save. The French X Factor host should save the population of France.
Yes.
My duties is to save the extra factor.
Good.
My duty is to save Caroline Flack.
Okay.
Good. I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Yeah. What would you do if this entire building became overrun by giant ants right now?
I would literally wouldn't be scared. I'd just walk straight through them.
Really?
And just walk straight out of the building, yeah.
Don't have time for
I'm not
this.
scared of ants.
Get out of the way. Okay.
Are we talking giant ants or small ants?
Giant.
Giant ants. Massive ones.
Bigger than
that's
me.
a bit different, then, isn't it? I thought you meant just ants.
No,
You said,
giant.
No.
Oh.
If there's swarmed with tiny ants that you had to walk over. No, giant ants.
Oh, giant ants. I just like, excuse you, mate, I need to get out.
Well, there we go. Okay.
Let me go, please.
And a last one. Do you suspect that any celebrities...
Whoa, actually. Where did you get the inspiration from that? By watching, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something? Is that, like, how you decided?
I think I did, in the back of my mind, it was there.
Yeah, in a dream.
The ant was nice in that.
And finally, do you reckon any of the celebrities you've ever met are secretly aliens? Which one is the most likely to secretly be an alien? Because I look at Nicole Scherzinger and I'm like...
Could be.
A lot of...
Why would she be an alien?
She calls everyone humans all the time.
You're a human with a beautiful soul. It's like, you're from Mars, that's why you're saying that.
Oh, I think maybe Louis Spence could be an alien.
He could be. I could see
Only
that.
logical explanation.
Because he expresses everything in dance.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have a conversation with him and he will tell you exactly how he feels by dancing.
And no human can kick that high.
No human can. That's just weird.
Good.
Well, there we go. I think
that was fun.
There was no owl hoot.
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
So we were going to give you the owl, but...
Can I just say I love Louis Spence? I don't think he's actually alien. It's just a joke.
I think it's
kind of a joke.
being an alien.
It's a jokey question. I feel like, Louis will be upset that I think he's an alien.
So is that a refreshing interview?
That was really great fun. I appreciate... I like sort of interviews like that. It keeps me awake.
Good.
That's cool. It keeps you awake.
No, that was good fun, guys. Liked it.
Do your fans have a name? Like...
The Murs Army.
The Murs Army. I was going to go with mermaids.
The mermaids. I think
merman.
there's a few. There's the Olliettes.
Murderers. No, that's no.
The
that's
murderers.
We are the murderers.
Your most hardcore fans.
And I just want a big shout out to the murderers. Oh, sorry. I'm at the arena tour. Big shout out to all the murderers out there.
Excellent. Well, would you like to introduce your new song featuring Flowrider?
Okay, well, this is BBC Radio 1, and this is Troublemaker.
You're a troublemaker, troublemaker.
Olly Murs there with Troublemaker on Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1.
So thank you to Ollie for being so delightfully waffly.
Can't say that.
It's not a bad thing. You know, who needs an icebreaker when you're lost in a hailstorm of conversation?
What?
He could open a Waffle House.
Anyway, I think it's time to read out some of your tweets for inventions that would change our lives. Melon Lord said a button that you can press to turn into a cat in awkward situations.
That would solve like 99% of the world's problems.
How would you turn back from being a cat again? Surely you just lose all sense of being human.
No posable thumbs. How would you press the button? It would have to be a situation so awkward that you're willing to permanently become a cat.
Yes, that would be the sacrifice you'd make.
That's the only con to
pressing the
this.
button. Becky Area would like a Pokemon converter, which turns them into real-life animals.
I think that would be a bit dangerous. I mean, it seems quite fun in the TV show, but if we could just have like wild beasts capable of massive destructive energy beams, then the world would go into ruin in a matter of hours.
It would. Flaming Charizard in the school.
It's
not go down well.
No. Okay, Hannah would like hot water bottles that refill and reheat themselves.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Although it sounds a bit like the magical brooms in that Mickey Mouse thing. Like, would it just hop off the bed and go... I
think they'd make her clean up things.
I don't like the idea of this autonomous water bottle, because what if it went psycho? It was like, I'm going to boil you to death or something.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep heating until
Too much
you die.
power in one object. I'm not comfortable with it.
Augustus Waters wants multi-purpose underwear. Heated in winter, dry quickly like swimmers, and can shoot rockets if needed.
That, oh my lord.
That's got a lot
I
of
can't even
features.
process that. Emma Tomlinson would like to invent a pillow that records streams that you can then play like a CD.
You'd get some disturbing stuff out of my head.
I can imagine.
I was dreaming last night about vinegar. That was just the main theme. I'd run out of vinegar, I wanted more vinegar, and I was pouring vinegar on people.
You sound like such an exciting person.
I can't believe I just admitted to that.
Emily Herbert said a brain-scanning homework writer which scans your brain for information and does your homework for you.
That'd be great.
Although I think that they had that in an episode of Keenan and Kel, if my 90s memory is serving me right.
That's some good...
I am flashing back to CBBC. Shout
Keenan
out.
and Kel the facts.
Yeah, I can. It worked well for them. So, yeah, all for that one.
I'm for that one. And finally, we've got Bonkiki Lashandra.
Which, by the way, is the best name ever.
That is the best name I've ever heard. She wants a machine which collects up crumbs, and then when it has enough, it makes a cake out of them.
Oh, my word.
Bonkiki, you win.
I'm speechless.
Dragon's Den.
So you just be able to like place it behind the toaster where there's just decades of horrible mouldy crust, and there's like Victoria Sponge.
Beautiful.
So this has actually turned out to be a very helpful radio show.
Yeah, all those inventions.
But it's going to get even better.
How could it possibly?
As now it is time to give you our conclusive guide to surviving Christmas shopping.
Forget Ross Kemp on gangs, this is Dan and Phil in Debenhams.
So hardcore. So mentally prepare yourself, as what you are about to hear after this next song may even save a life.
Look forward to it.
Here's Alt J.
Forget about you for now.
BBC Radio 1.
So, it's that time again. The time we have all been dreading.
It's that guilty feeling of procrastination. It's December now, so you want to get in the Christmas spirit. But you can't, because you don't deserve to.
Because you haven't done your Christmas shopping.
It's just not right. That's right, it's that time of the year when you actually have to leave your house in your precious spare time to freeze your butt off whilst you spend your hard-earned money on things people probably won't want.
It's definitely the worst thing in the year.
Worse than realising there's no more toilet paper at a friend's house?
Well, maybe not, but it's pretty traumatic.
So, as me and Phil are people that like to give back, as well as already giving a lot to you people with our spare time, we have created something.
It's time for the Christmas Shopping Survival Guide.
Appropriate boom there.
Yep.
So yes, if you are rolling around on the floor in tears just thinking about Christmas shopping, the next 2 minutes could very well save your life.
Well,
They could.
Well,
Who knows what could happen?
okay, here we go. Number 1. Starting off with the most important issue here, crowd control. There is nothing worse than wading through a sea of slow-moving people that are probably all being held up by someone doing up their shoelaces. To clear the streets, consider buying cats and then taping them together to make a suit out of cats, so people think you're a crazy cat lady.
Solid idea. No one wants to approach a crazy cat lady.
Exactly, and if you have some cats left over, then keep them for throwing at people. Always helps.
Tip number 2. Who's the most difficult person to buy presents for? Grandma! Well, here's a tip. You can just go to her house and wrap up some furniture and she probably won't remember owning it. Infinite free presents forever.
Now, tip 3. You know what I hate the most about Christmas shopping, Dan?
What, Phil?
Long queues.
Oh, definitely. I walk into Primark to get a top hat for 50p and I end up stood in there for hours surrounded by peasants.
Nothing worse. Well, one thing that I know that works is to scream bees in the middle of Debenhams. That should probably work.
Number 4. One of the things that gets me right in the half are those annoying perfume ladies who always spray you without permission. They're like, "Oh, hello, madam. Would you like to try the new Britney Spears fragrance?" And I'm like, "No, I'm already wearing something. And if you spray me, then I'll just smell like a weird mix between a flower girl and an alcoholic." And then they just go and do it anyway.
You're okay there, Dan?
Yes, well, to counteract their attack, I recommend walking straight in and spraying them with perfume. Yeah, that's right. They'll probably just get confused and implode.
For tip 5, we have the ultimate last-minute lifesaver. Imagine waking up on Christmas Eve and realizing you haven't bought anyone anything.
Oh no, that is the worst-case scenario. How could you possibly recover?
Well, you can claim you gave all your family's presents to charity. Everybody knows you'd be a horrible person if you had a problem with that, so no one will.
The perfect crime.
And it's not even a crime.
Oh my gosh. And finally, our ultimate tip for saving all the stresses of the Christmas season. Be Jewish.
So there we go. Now you'll have the most blissful December possible, and everyone will view you with the respect you deserve.
Legal disclaimer, act on none of the advice given to you in the last 3 minutes, apart from that last one. That's totally your choice.
BBC Radio 1.
Are you a last-minute kind of guy, Dan, with Christmas shopping?
Well, I'd like to think not, but I wrote that guide at 3 a.m. last night. So
Well
I guess
then,
so.
enjoy your Christmas shopping.
No, I buy everything online, actually. It shows the best kind of love.
I heard you mean new things.
Oh, no, I just eBay everything. Seriously, it doesn't matter if the present's a bit crusty, or it just smells of cats a bit,
That doesn't sound good.
or the ominous fabric stain that you just can't put your finger on. That's one of my faves.
Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not your mum. I hope that was very edutainable for all of you listening. I do actually have a story of when I forgot Christmas.
Do you?
Yeah, I felt really bad. It was Christmas Eve. I was about 8 years old, and I was like, oh, I haven't got anyone anything. So I spent the whole night crafting this intricate box to give to my mum.
Right.
And it was coloured in felt tips, and it was beautiful. Do you know what was inside?
No.
A pound.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like the John Lewis advert.
No.
Okay, let's have some Mumford & Sons.
And in the middle of the night, I may watch you go. There'll be no value in the strength of walls that I've grown. There'll be no comfort in the shade of the shadow's throne. But I'd be yours.
That was Mumford & Sons, Lover of the Light, on Radio 1. This is Phil and Dan filling in for Matt Edmonson, and our time is nearly over together.
Well, this has been fun.
It has.
Matt will be back with you next week. I hope that his Illuminati bull milking / Tibetan llama farming was successful.
And we managed to do the whole thing without destroying Radio 1's legacy.
Go us! Well, you can find both of us on the internet under the names Danisnotonfire and AmazingPhil. And if you enjoyed the show, or you want to tell all of your friends about it, then make sure you get the free download off your favourite generic downloading program.
Or we will be sharing the radio waves with you again on Christmas night, which will be festively exciting.
It will, and we tried getting Delia Smith on the show, but apparently she was too busy writing a book.
A likely story.
Definitely at the same Illuminati camp as Matt, just, sacrificing perfect boiled eggs to the sun god.
You need to stop reading Wikipedia late at night.
Okay, but from me and Phil and our special guest, Olly...
I'd probably take Louis.
Farewell.
Phil, that wasn't the button to end the show.
Oh, what about this flashing red one?
No!